and especially in terms of like, the grand scheme of things, how quickly it's all changed. It's incredible. But I think we will be going back actually to something actually way better than we've ever known. But it
I
might take,
agree.
I don't know, 5 or 10 years. It might be longer. I don't know. And I could be wrong. And even at the end of the day, even if I am wrong, it doesn't really matter. This was just an experience for us to learn, for us to, you know, when I was saying earlier about how we might be able to win the game, like if you think about this as a 3D video game, what a 3D video game, right? With all the evil characters and no one can see them, it's amazing. And only a few people can see them, but and then they're trying to like nanotech us and turn us transhuman. Like what a game! And if we can actually even defeat that, like get past that, like like what a feeling of like winning the game that's going to be when this is all over, if we do end up sort of on the winning side. But at the end of the day, we're always on the winning side. The winning side's always there, and that's actually why I don't worry about anything, like even like all of this evil stuff. This is all for us to experience all of it, right? The duality of it all. The evil stuff is there to push us to, it's basically to make it so we have to make hard choices and we actually have to do hard things in this video game. If the video game was like easy, if all we had to do, like, I don't know about you, Hugo, but I assume from what I've heard about you and what you've said that you'd prefer to just be painting all day, and that's great. I
Oh
don't know what
man, yeah, dude.
I don't
This
know what I'd
sucks
really be doing.
because they take the piss out of you and I. I mean, it's like, and like you say, you're like, why am I even doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we doing this, man? We're just trying to help people out, and yet for some reason they hate us. So, not all of them, but there's enough out there. I don't get it. Like, why do they hate us so much? Yeah, what I love about painting is what I told you, Jeff. When you start painting, and especially paint with your son, wow, you're gonna get it because that brings God into your mind, into your hands, and you create something from inside of you. And that's on a whole nother level, man, when you start getting there. So yeah, why would I want to be dealing with trolls on the internet when I could just be painting all day, you know? So, but do you think that there's a possibility that we are going to win this without a charismatic leader? And what I mean is the world has now seen Trump. They thought he was going to save us. They thought he was going to make America great again. I think a lot of people are having cognitive dissonance and feeling, oh my God, I made a mistake. If you can't see it by now, you're not going to see it. So then they're cult members. But he's not the guy to unite everybody. What is going to save us, Jeff, is everybody uniting. And I don't see us anywhere near that right now, especially, like I said, in the alternative news media. There's, I'm, my biggest enemies are the ones in alt news media that are mad at me because I'm exposing the fact that there are controlled opposition in alt news media, you know? So I'm like, man, I'm sorry, but I got to call a spade, you know?
Yeah, I don't really see much hope at the moment for people uniting. And I don't really think even some sort of leader could do that at this point. What I think it is that people need to remember what they really are, and do the work and get connected to source again. And then everything will become very perfect very quickly. So I think it's actually an individual sort of a thing that every individual, it's kind of like if we're all in our own Truman Show, we all are being faced with this stuff, and what amazing shows all of them are, right? Like my show is pretty amazing, your show is pretty amazing, every single person watching this has a pretty amazing show. They're dealing with, oh, my wife is she's like a narcissist, and now I have to like deal with this, and then these people are doing this to me, and then how's that guy going to get out of that, or how is he going to figure out, and will he, quite often they don't. But this is all individual sort of a thing, in my opinion. And I think it's going to basically get to a point where those people who have really done the work and stay connected will go on to do some pretty amazing things if they want to in this material world. And a lot of this stuff's actually going to go away. I actually like, it's funny because a lot of people will see a lot of the stuff I talk about and they kind of assume and they say, I'm so black pilled. But my message is as white pilled as it can get. You have nothing to worry about. Especially if you want to in this 3D video game, if you want to do the work, you can win this game. You can actually get past all this stuff and go on. If you want to stay in this particular version of the game, you can stay for a while and have incredible times. You can do that. Every single person can, but it takes work, and it actually, the biggest thing probably for most people is it takes giving up pretty much everything you thought you were and everything you thought you wanted, and everything that you thought was necessary to get the things that you thought you wanted. So, for example, to get through what's going on, people are going to have to drop all the stuff that they've been basically wasting their time on. So watching sports, I do still watch a little bit, but I'm mostly doing this sort of stuff, right? Your average person, they'll actually be watching sports all day, or movies, or video games, or whatever it is, and not doing the work. Doing the work itself is not easy. You have to look at yourself. You have to sit there basically in semi-silence, and watch your mind, and get to a point where you can actually really feel the subtle connection with source, and then work on that and get past all the traps of your mind to get through all that. And then on top of that, in order to really change things in this material world for most people, the entire system will have to collapse. And that is actually a very, very good thing. It's something we should all be hoping for, but your average person won't. Because what that means is most people are going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose the things they thought were real. That their planned retirement in 20 years, it's gone. It's not going to be there anyway. But for people to accept that and actually just walk away from most of the things they're doing right now and to actually do the work, most people won't do it. And for those people, it's going to be super hard to get through what's coming. It'll be so hard, actually, that I was actually on a YouTube video just a couple of days ago. It just popped up on my screen. I forget who it was or exactly what it was about, but it was a very enlightened sort of a video about how the algorithms are basically making people soulless and making their lives basically horrible. And it really is. But what was most interesting about the video to me was the comments section. It had like 1 million views. There was thousands and thousands of the most saddest stories of, I don't even know why I'm living anymore, and all this sort of stuff. And some of them were recognizing, yeah, it's because of this system. But they're trapped in it still. There's still the algorithms have got a lot of people. You just look at them. You just go outside and they're on their phone. They're not even talking to each other. They're trapped in it, and they've been trapped in this dopamine loop sort of thing, which is on purpose. And they can't even be happy anymore, like, because their dopamine's so burned out from all that stuff. They can't actually go out and walk outside in a nice park and look at the sun and feel happy. And I was like that before too, before I did all this work. But it's going to take people going back and basically dropping everything they thought was real about themselves and the world, and just connecting back with nature, source, that sort of a thing, which your average person isn't ready to do. So in this video game, they're going to get pushed as far as it takes. And some of them are eventually going to get it. And some of them are probably going to go into that CERN database for souls for 1 trillion years or whatever it is, until they can work themselves out of that eventually. But it's all part of a experience all being created by the creator, to experience itself in 1 trillion different ways. It's incredible. And there is really nothing to worry about. But I don't worry about how humanity is going to survive or anything like that. It's going to, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I can do my part. And as you've talked about a lot already, our part doesn't really seem to change much. That's another reason why they probably don't bother taking us out. Like, we really don't affect a lot of people. I know we'd affect some, but it's like in the thousands at most. Like, it's not in the millions at all.
Yeah.
Like, not even close. So that's very small when you look at the population of the Earth. Even though they lie about that, they say it's 8 billion. It's probably closer to 4 billion. But even 4 billion, what's a 500,000 people between you, Max, myself, a few other people, David Icke, maybe 1 million people out of 4 billion is nothing. And so I don't really worry. Like, everyone's going to have to go through all their own things. It's going to be so incredible. It's going to be crazy to watch. And most people won't be able to handle it. They're actually going to have psychological breakdowns as a lot of this stuff happens. And that will be their opportunity again to actually be broken down psychologically to nothingness and see if they can work themselves out of that. And if they can, they'll go on to do some great things in this material world. And if they can't, they might have to come back and do it again and again and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't really worry about any of it. All you can do really is worry about yourself and take care of yourself. And I don't mean that from like a selfish approach. I actually mean it from, if I can't do that, then I can't take care of my family. And I can't even try to help other people, which I do still try to do. It's pointless, not totally pointless. Even if you wake up one person, it's actually a pretty big deal, right? When you think about it, like if you save one person, like imagine a giant house is on fire and everyone's going to die, but you got one person out, you did your best, right? Like that feels pretty good, right? And that's really kind of how I look at it.